She said my toes go to war, and I don't like that because she a vet. She know what war look like.
You say she a vet and she know what war look like? Chelsea, are you listening to this? Good God.
Chelsea, don't do me.
Don't who knew?
Hey, what's up, you guys? It's your girl, Shirley Dor.
And Cirocobama. It's your audio besties here, and this is Not That Podcast.
Not That Podcast. Every Tuesday, we're sharing personal stories and giving advice
on mental wellness, sexual pleasure, relationships, and pretty much whatever the hell we want.
Welcome to episode 6. Oh, we almost at double digits.
Double digits. I just can't wait to see the door.
Thank you guys for listening, watching, sharing, hating, loving our content. And we do this for y'all. We're doing it for clout. We're doing it to go viral. Yeah. And thank you for allowing it to start making numbers. We know eventually it's going to take viral.
It's already viral. It just needs to reach more people. So welcome to This Is Not That Podcast. It's your first time here. Nice to meet you. Don't forget to follow, subscribe, like a couple videos, comment, check out our TikToks, give us a phone call, or send us a DM because we would love to hear from you.
Absolutely. And we will not be checking nobody in no comments. So say whatever you want to say.
It took a lot of strength for Ciroc to do that. So you're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Ooh, don't worry. Consumer content coming out soon.
Content consumerism tips. We're gonna put that on the blog too. We're gonna make a blog on the site. We have our blog. We have our website coming.
Ooh, we official.
Our website is coming.
You know Shirley got our hands in that because I don't want to make no damn website. I don't want to make no damn website.
I was like, for us to be legit, we have to. I know all this other stuff makes us legit, but the website, people take us way more serious. Oh, you're not good. Yeah.
I don't know, man. But anyways, I wanted to do a little icebreaker. Now, I'm thinking about not doing the icebreaker because I'm gonna be like, Shirley's gonna try to be understanding. So do
you want me to be a fucking or a therapist?
I don't want you to be a therapist.
Okay, so you want me to be sure.
Yeah. But then again, I also don't know if these things would piss you off. So
let's see.
All right. Okay. So, I made this when I was thinking about the episode, so I haven't even read it. Okay, so you're dating a busy entrepreneur that you've been eyeing for years. He asks you to go on a date this Thursday at 7. You don't hear from him on Thursday morning, and he texts you at 6:30 and says he's on his way. How do you deal with that situation?
I would have talked about it if we were still going out there.
And what if he's like, well, I didn't tell you that I canceled.
And I would say you also didn't tell me that you were still doing this.
Yeah, but I made plans.
But you also didn't tell me that we're still up.
Yeah, but I already told you that I made the plan.
Right, but you didn't tell me that we still have plans. As a busy entrepreneur, you should know that you need to check in the day before to confirm if something is still happening because you are too busy to make last-minute decisions at 6:30.
Yeah, but I already put this on my calendar.
Even if you put it on your calendar, you as a busy entrepreneur should know that you should check in.
I was busy while you didn't call me. The phone works both ways.
You are absolutely correct. However, my expectations were you wanted to take me out, thus you would follow up with me based on your busy schedule.
Oh, so now it sounds like you're not even really that interested because then you would have called me to try to confirm.
I mean, if you called me, you would have been able to confirm if I was interested. Right. See, now if you're busy now, you're going to always be busy. So what it says to me is that we shouldn't be dating.
So that's how you would.
That's exactly you. Sir, ma'am, whoever the hell you are.
Oh, ma'am.
Whoever the hell.
You hear that, ladies?
Whoever you are, do yourself a favor and follow up the day before. Because if this has happened to me, this guy asked me out on a date. I did not hear from him
The day before.
until the day of the date. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry. You asked me on a date 2
Yeah, but
weeks.
what time on the date? Like the date. Like if the date was like at 7, like around what time did you hear from him?
He like, it's almost as if he forgot that we had a date. That's when I heard from him.
Oh, so he just hit you up like, hey.
Hey, yeah, no, like, you know, no, and I don't even know if he was an entrepreneur, so maybe that's why it didn't matter. However, I'm on a date with another guy, and that guy contacted me, even though I didn't hear from him for like 7 days, he contacted me at least the day before to be like, hey, I just wanted to confirm, are we still on for tomorrow? This is the location. I was just like, yeah.
I don't think I would want to go out with somebody if you ask me out on a date and then you don't talk to me for days and then hit me up the day of. I don't think
that's another issue, because what I've been hearing lately in the dating world is that, or I don't know what it's like with women, because I think women are just very intentional. They have the same mindset.
Mm-hmm.
But from the guys that I've been dating, they have all done the same thing. They want to get to know you on a date, so they don't make any effort to get to know you before the date. And I'm like,
you're wasting time.
Wouldn't you want to, like, if you set up something like weeks prior to, wouldn't you want to get to know me before you get
so
there?
It's not awkward.
Yeah,
it's kind of knows certain things. Maybe
Right.
you guys have insiders that would be
Right.
funny or whatever. I
Yeah.
get that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would think that's weird. Like if you don't talk to me like all the way up until the date, I don't think I'm talking.
The same thing happened with Munch. Like Munch told a story about like how she went on a date and then the guy was just like, oh, you know, I don't try to get to know you before. I don't get to know people before because it's also a waste of time. And they're like, oh, you know, in the natural environment. I was just like, that's so strange. You know, we have an increased access to technology. We should be able to use it for a benefit, and then anything that we do in person is like an enhancer. Why would you get my number like 2 weeks before if you do not talk to me to the date?
Until the date. I think that's awkward.
So for me, you gotta get that shit wet first.
He's trying to get that shit wet on the date, and then y'all have the nerve to try to ask for sex afterward.
Right.
That is weird. Okay, so I have another.
Okay.
Your best friend invites you to a small gathering. Her boyfriend strikes up a conversation with you. You guys talk and laugh for about an hour, then you continue to talk to other people. Later, your friend says she doesn't appreciate you flirting with her boyfriend. How do you deal with it?
She doesn't appreciate you flirting with her boyfriend?
Yeah.
I would tell her that I'm not.
Yeah, she feels like you're flirting with her boyfriend. She wants an apology.
She wants an apology?
An apology? That's a big word for Elmo.
Apologizing for something. Apologizing for
Flirting with her boyfriend.
She's my best friend?
Yeah.
No, my best friend won't do that.
This is a scenario.
Okay, but like in this scenario, it doesn't align
Your
with my
best-
friendships.
Your best friend.
Not one of my best friends are gonna come to me assuming.
Shaina don't like you giggling
Wait.
with her.
No, I can respect that. I can respect you saying I don't giggle, but don't tell me I'm flirting with your man. You know what flirting is. You know what I'm flirting looks like. I'm gonna touch
but
you.
she feel like you're a little flirtatious
Nah,
all the time,
nah,
and you
nah.
using it with her boyfriend.
Nah, I would be touching on your nigga for one of them. No, that's not it.
So I'm telling you, you flirting with my nigga,
And I'm telling you, if I was flirting with your nigga, you would have been lying.
Well, I
So
don't.
that's not.
I don't like. I
That's
don't like the friendliness or whatever you think you're doing.
Respectfully, I will respect that.
Okay, I don't like.
But
what
I'm
you're doing.
not flirting with your nigga.
Okay. Well, I don't like all this fluffing
Fluff
your
your
eyes and giggling and yeah. I don't like all that with my man.
Okay, I would respect that. I'd honestly respect that. I'd be like, I feel you, but don't let your frugal ass ego fuck up your friendship.
I would like an apology.
I'm not about that. I ain't apologizing for shit. The friendship gonna have to end.
What is with your conflict resolution skills, Shirley?
I'm really good at resolving conflict.
I'm
However,
in a conflict with you.
yeah, but you're telling me that I need to compromise because you're being delusional.
I'm not being delusional.
You are delusional.
You are doing too much. Nobody else is over here.
You have low self-esteem.
I know when somebody want my man.
But I know
because I know I want my man.
Oh, that's sad. That really sends a message that your self-esteem is so low Do you think that your best friend is gonna make?
Oh no, it's not my self-esteem. It's yours because you going after my man.
That's crazy.
Get your own man.
All this dick I get, you think I want you?
Yeah.
You nigga cheating on me. What? Y'all insane. Y'all really think I want some cheating man? Get your shit together, please. Please.
I feel like your nigga was trying to get at me, and I told him no.
Many times. Who? Hello? No. But on some real shit, I would understand that I do come off flirtatious. So I would definitely say, I would apologize for making my friend feel that way. Mm-hmm. But I'm not apologizing for being Shirley because you knew what you signed up for when you became my friend. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Well, this episode is about conflict resolution.
Yes, that's how I would resolve the conflict. It would probably cause some issues with people who don't know how to resolve conflict. If they don't know how to resolve conflict, they would actually get this off.
Probably.
Yeah.
I think some people just want to be upset and they don't really want to fix.
Right.
Fix conflict.
Right.
So, episode 6 and conflict resolution. So, I want to talk about how we deal with conflict with friends, families, and relationships.
Okay.
So, me personally, I think my conflict resolution style is I want to know why this bothers you, and then I will apologize for whatever I did, and I will try to find a solution for the future so that we no longer have to have this issue. Mm-hmm. I'm also not one of these people that, remember in 2003? Well, I mean, like with boyfriends or friends and stuff like that. If it's somebody that's coming for me, I'm gonna be like, hey, bitch, remember in 2003 for sure. Oh, wait, I'm sorry.
No, you can keep cussing. We just can't say the word.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought we weren't cussing.
No. We almost fucked. You see on this podcast? That you just can't say the word. Okay. Niggas a racial slur.
I felt bad. Y'all saw that?
Yeah.
I was like,
oh no. Messing up the podcast. I didn't mean to do it.
I'm burning.
I'm sorry.
But I'll definitely bring stuff back up for like people that I don't like. And I do hold grudges. I hold lots of grudges. Mm-hmm. But I'm gonna hold a grudge if we can't mend it.
Right. Which means if you don't resolve the conflict.
Yeah, if we don't resolve the conflict,
and this is with
you got beef with
friends?
me. Friends and relationships. Well, friends.
So all relationships.
Friends, yeah, like pretty much all relationships. That's how I want to operate. Mm-hmm. And I seem to not be able to resolve conflict with people who need to take time to think about whatever the situation is, because I want to know why now, and then we can come up with a solution now. Or there's also people who just wanted to vent, and that's their conflict resolution style.
Yeah. So I'm a product of immigrant parents, and the product is I'm not allowed to speak even if I'm upset. I have to smile through things. So I've taken that into my adulthood to where I don't resolve things right away because I was taught that I'm not allowed to. Like I don't have a voice in the moment. Mm-hmm. So if I feel any frustration from someone, or if I feel frustration within myself, I shut down and I have nothing to say. So then, but I communicate that I'm feeling that way. So I will say, hey, this has made me feel very uncomfortable. And, my mama don't even talk to me like that. Like, that's my go-to. Like, my mama can't talk to me like that. You can't. Once I say that, I start to communicate, like, hey, like, I'm upset to the point that I'm going into my shell and I don't know what to say to you, but I will know what to say to you in 4 hours. So I usually just tell people, except for family, I can't do it with family, but I can do it with friends and I can do it with romantic relationships.
What do you do with your family?
I don't talk to them niggas. Fuck me. Sorry, I don't talk to those people. Fuck them. Forget them.
Oh, I thought you were clearing up the cursing.
No, that had to be there. No, but for real, forget them. No, I just can't my family just doesn't have conflict resolution skills in general. And everything is very, like, even though you're older, you're still younger, so you don't have any say. And, you know, you have feelings, you shouldn't have feelings, so you don't have any say. And, yeah, I just don't bother.
I have that same thing with my family, but there's no denying that I am the smartest one, and you can tell that they know that I'm smarter, and they know I think that I'm smarter type of attitude. So then they just be like, yeah, whatever, you know, and then just kind of like brush it off for a little bit because they know they're gonna need.
Yeah. I think my family has gotten to the point where my family they have like bad relationships with each other in general. So it's just like if you don't do things the way that we want to, we're just going to cast you out type of thing. But that's mainly because everybody else in my family has a family. Realistically, I'm like the outsider. So like I don't have like my auntie, she has her husband, she has her 2 kids, and she has a husband family. My other cousin, she has her husband, she has her 2 kids. And we talked about, like, one of my cousins, we talked about, like, how we wish our family would resolve conflict better. And so we, as the younger generation, we're trying to, like, not follow in the footsteps of our family and, like, try to build relationships with each other.
I mean, when I go to therapy and I work on my, not just conflict resolution, the way that I try to deal with my conflict resolution when I first went to therapy was my communication. Like, how can I communicate that I'm having an issue? Because I had an ex who was like crazy, and I worked on my communication skills. She was like, you know, maybe, you know, when it happens, sit him down and say, hey, this is bothering me. And he would be like, oh yeah, well, when I had the U-Haul truck, you were mad at me, and I had to, like, brought up some stuff that was like from the past, and I was like, whoa, where did this come from? Because he didn't bring up that he was upset about something at the moment, but he started talking about stuff from 6 months ago, and I'm like, whoa, that's crazy. I tried, you know, doing something nice, having like a nice little dinner or whatever, candle, everything cute or whatever, and then I was like, you know, I just wanted to talk about, you know, there's, you know, everything has been great, there's just this one thing, and he would flip out on that. I tried to bring him to my therapist. He flipped out on that. I've had attitudes. He's flipped out on that. I've yelled at him. He's flipped out on that. I've wrote him a letter. He flipped out on that. And I was just like, I literally
sound like that person really had poor conflict resolution.
I literally exhausted all my options, and literally nothing worked. And I feel like sometimes that's how our parents are too. Like, it's just a brick wall. There's nothing you can do.
Yeah, I used to be. I'm the passive. I'm very passive with my family. I'm passive with my family, assertive with friends, assertive with romantic relationships. So with my family, I'm very like, and then when I finally decided to solve conflict, I got aggressive. I was just like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to play with it. I got real like South Florida. And that did not solve the conflict. It just made things worse. Now we hate each other's guts.
I don't know. In middle school, when I used to get in fights, I mean, that's the last I heard of.
Yeah. But that's what happened. That's the last I heard. You ain't come. They're not gonna bother me. You're not gonna hurt my feelings. You can't do nothing if I cuss you out. So but I know that's not a healthy mechanism, but I needed to do it because I was always a passive. I was always passive. Everything that I did with family, I always just went into my shell. I was just like, this is just a battle, and I'm not gonna fight.
Do you have any friends of yours that you think have bad conflict resolution skills?
Absolutely. What? Whew, my friends, yeah.
They're pretty bad. How have they tried to resolve conflict, or it's just conflict and then they're just like
not? So one of my friends, because of who I am, she just can't do. She just cannot not resolve the conflict because I won't let it not be resolved. So like,
I feel like because you're a therapist, like they would gaslight. I could have sworn somebody said that you was gaslighting them before. Because you a manipulator. Or
I feel like I do have manipulative tendencies, but I don't think it was in that relationship. I think, and I'll never forget when he said I gaslit him, and I said I gaslit you, and he's like, yeah, and I said, so you're trying to say that I was manipulative? He's like, that's not what I said, and I was like, well, that's the definition of gaslighting. I don't know what girl this man was talking to that told that man I was gaslighting, but that's what he said.
I would feel that way too if I was talking to a therapist.
No,
you try to use mind games to get what you want.
No, but that's only if you got money. He ain't had no money, so you can't gaslight no broke.
You can't say that word.
You can't gaslight. This is very challenging.
I told you.
Wow,
I
just feel like it's a sentence enhancer, as you've mentioned so many times.
Yeah.
You can't gaslight a broke man. You can't gaslight him.
You can't.
No.
Gaslight him to be a better man.
I did that so many times. I was very hopeful that he would become a better man, and that did not happen. I guess he did become a better version of himself for himself, but not for a long-term romantic relationship.
He gaslit me though, because I feel like
How could he do that?
Yeah, how could he do that to me?
If you're listening, Ciroc really believed in me. Ciroc really believed in me.
I did. So I had asked on my Instagram how people deal with conflict. Mm-hmm. So I got 4 different answers. And the first answer, the person said, issues gotta be handled in less than 24 hours. Direct, not passive resolutions. Which is basically the way that I deal with conflict, but some people don't feel like that's like a good conflict resolution because they feel like emotions are high. Maybe they need people to cool down. But the more you let me cool down, the angrier I get. Like the more you give me time to think, the more I think that I wouldn't be angry if I just cut your ass off. So it doesn't work for me. The longer you wait to fix it with me, I'm gonna feel like you don't give a crap.
Interesting is that you sitting with the thoughts is actually far more helpful, because then you will get rid of all your negative emotions about the situation before you actually talk about it.
Not for me. It makes me angrier.
Yeah, but that just means, I didn't think you were gonna make all this noise. That just means that that just means you're going to have to think about what that means for you. Like all relationships, it takes compromise. So remember how I said, like, I grew up with people like not giving me room and space to talk. So I was taught from the age of 3 until like 19 to not say anything when someone's upset. So you can imagine I'm not going to resolve anything in 24 hours because I spent 18 years of my life not being able to communicate.
I don't know. I feel like now we're adults,
but it doesn't surpass the 18 years of what I was taught. Maybe in my 40s, I should have. You can have the expectations, but not now.
I grew up the same way. My thoughts or me being upset didn't matter, and we didn't care about fixing why I was upset or anything like that. But I guess everybody's traumas.
Yeah, everyone's traumas are very different, or everyone's trauma response. Maybe that's what I should say. The trauma response is different. Like how I respond to it. I'll never forget. There was this day that Cameron, he got upset at something and he yelled at me. It wasn't like he yelled at me, he was just yelling. And I just looked at him and I was like, mind you, I'm like 23, 24. No, I was actually like 26 by this time. And I just looked at him and I just walked away. And then Chap came up and he was like, hey, yeah, really, that wasn't a good idea. Notice how she just like shut down. And he was like, that's rare for it to happen, but it is something that triggers her. And, she usually, she's done a lot of work to not be here, but, that was different. I've never seen her do that in a long time. So maybe when you're like speaking to her, if you're mad at something, you might take a second to calm down and walk away and then come back because it looks like she's not going to talk to her.
I have this really bad thing where like I usually deal with dudes that are like laid back, and then when they get like really angry, where they start like getting out of character, like I can't not laugh. I had an ex angry because I didn't kiss him before I went to work. Came outside, started yelling at me, and I'm over here looking at him like serious in my head, and I'm like trying not to laugh. And he's like, "You don't think that's funny?" And then he shook me, and I died laughing.
Oh my gosh.
I can't take it serious. Like, it's what you call it? The ex that I had, he came to my window talking about something. Oh, you never care about me. You don't care about my well-being, my green card, da da da, whatever. And then I'm looking at him, and I'm like trying not to, but I have the smirk on my face, and that's where he threw the water bottle at me.
Now you got these men thinking that you don't care about them, girl.
Oh man,
Dang. Poor guy.
it's bad. But I mean, what do you expect me to do? You ain't talking to me in 6 months. You needed 6 months to cool off to figure out what you wanted to say.
Yeah.
Like,
to the person who responded, maybe 24. If you were in a seat with Shirley, and I was your therapist, and you were with someone who didn't respond that way, I would tell you that it's not your way or the highway. You have to find a way to compromise because 24 hours might not be enough for some people. Like, some people may internalize anger a lot longer, and they might not even realize that they're angry until later. And so there's like the part about compromise is that someone ends up losing more than the other person, but just to make the other person happy, you try to meet in the middle. And so middle really means that 50% is taken away from somebody. So with that 50%, you guys have to do a middle ground. So me, it takes me days, days to come back. But that's because I don't like talking when I'm mad. If I'm mad, I'm not talking to you. Why would I talk to you when I'm mad? I'm only going to say stuff that's going to disrespect you. I would prefer to wait until I'm calm, and whatever I have to say in a calm state is everything that I need.
I guess maybe when I have conflict, if it's a friend or in a relationship, I feel like we're still not, we're on the same team. So even though I'm upset about something that you did or you're upset about something that I did, I'm not going to call you out your name or this, that, and the other. Unless it's something like totally disrespectful, and then I don't want to talk to you at all. Like, you immediately like gotta go. But if it's just a conflict that arises, even though I'm upset, I want to talk about it and I want to resolve it. But I'm not about to call you out of your name or say things that I don't mean. I'm not the type of person to do that. I say things like I say hurtful things when I'm not upset.
Interesting. Because I don't get angry.
Yeah, and I barely get angry.
So if you get me angry, I will say, I'm not going to call you out your name. I'm not going to be like, nope, I did that with my aunt. I called her a bitch. I called her a whole bunch of words. But that was like years of pent up energy. That was like probably like 12 years of anger came out at once. Mm-hmm. But with my romantic partner, with my ex, I remember the day he made me very angry, and I screamed. And I hung up the phone, and I went to go spend every last dollar on his bank account. I think it was like $400 of stuff for my apartment because I had just got a new apartment, and I just spent his money. And then he called. I didn't answer the phone. He called. I didn't answer the phone. I was mad. There was nothing else I was going to say to him other than cut him out. So then I was like, I'm going to spend your money. Well, I didn't say that. I just literally blanked, and I swiped. And when I got home, I decorated my room. Day went by and I called him back. I said, hey, So I went on a shopping spree. I was like, yeah. He's like, I get it. I was like, you should. He was like, do you want to talk about it? I was like, sure. I'm calm now.
I can't. I wanna resolve it as soon as possible. Another person said, I stay quiet and separate myself until I've gotten my emotions together.
Yeah.
Another person says, I hate it. I don't argue, I'm usually quiet. And this is a friend of mine. She really is like, don't want, like her whole thing is, I don't want drama, I don't want problems.
Mm-hmm.
And so she'll probably stay quiet and like
maybe that might be it, because I try to stay away. I hate drama. Like I hate conflict. So I will stay away from it as long as I can.
Me too. Me too. And then this other person said, I realize I can't sit in my feelings too much. So I just let shit be what it's gonna be. And I be telling you, this girl is never gonna take accountability for nothing until she get her shit together. And I know she really just, it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of like the last situation I had with Jay.
Mm.
So she's just going, oh, it is what it is. We agreed, and not even a conversation about it. She'll just let you think what you think, and she'll think what she thinks.
Yeah.
And nobody, whatever anybody is thinking, is not even the real situation.
It just feels like the friendship is dispensable. It's like, because if I care about you, I'm not gonna let you think what you want to think.
I don't know. Sometimes I feel like maybe it's just some type of defense mechanism. Like they don't want they already have like a worst case scenario in their head, and they think the worst case scenario is the more likely probability, so they just don't try to say anything.
Yeah. I mean, that's like passive. Like you're just like, I don't want no problems. This is going to bring problems. Thus, this goes against what I want to do. So I'm just gonna let it go.
Which also causes problems.
Which causes problems. Like end all be all, the solution to things is communication. Whether there is an agreement, and this is what people need to stop doing. Stop trying to get people who have different views to be on their side of the view. Just listen to each other. You hear that this is what made the other person feel some way. You have to respect the fact that this is what made that person feel this way, and vice versa.
But that's the thing. I want to know why.
Well, some people don't know why. Yeah, like it took me years to realize why I shut down. I didn't even know. If you asked 18-year-old Shirley why did she go into her show when people yell at her, I wouldn't have been able to give you an answer.
But I think sometimes it's because you didn't even think of why, and nobody ever cared to want to know why. And so that's why I feel like having the conversation then and there, like even if you do need time, at least we had the initial conversation for you to think of the answers that you're gonna. Because what are you thinking of saying? Like you don't know why I'm upset, or if whatever happened to you is it affecting both of us? If like we haven't talked about what it is, so we just have the conflict and then just don't talk for 3 days. And then what are you thinking, or 4 days or 5 days?
I would never take that long. I wouldn't even suggest anyone taking that long. 4 hours is like my rule of thumb. Like if you feel something now and you're angry, like when I shut down, there's nothing you can say that will make me open my mouth because I am already down. The switch is turned off. My mouth is not going to open.
But I want to, like, whatever the conflict is, I want to at least have an initial talk about it. And if you don't know why, at least I'll know you don't know why, and you can think about it of why you do whatever you're doing.
That's when I would communicate that. Like if you and I have conflict, and you said to me, and you said you noticed the shutdown. Let's just say you noticed that I shut down, and you're like, what? You're like, oh, what made you shut down in this very moment? I'd be like, I would say to you, I'm too upset to communicate with you right now. I'll come back to you later.
Okay.
Because like I wouldn't be able to tell you anything because my mind just like flips off whenever my emotions.
And my thing would be like, okay, and then I'll wait an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 12 hours a day. I'm mad. Now I'm mad. 2 days. Now I'm fuming. 3 days. Fuck this bitch. 4 days. Oh, she just don't give a fuck. She really just don't give no fuck.
Yeah, if it goes 4 days, I'm
you know what I'm saying?
It's avoidance. If it goes past, at least for me and my conflict resolution skills, if it goes past like 12 hours, there's an issue. Once it hits like 12 hours.
Now, what do I do when I have, like, go ahead and put your therapist hat on.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've had several situations where I want to get to the bottom of it and I want to know why. You know, my thing is I want to solve it as soon as possible. And then other people want to wait days, weeks.
Right. So the person who wants to wait days is avoidant and doesn't have conflict resolution skills, period.
Mm-hmm.
Because it shouldn't take you, like, if it takes you days to solve conflict with a romantic relationship, what does that look like at work? What does it look like with family? What is that like? So it's like, whatever you do in your everyday life should mimic in your romantic relationships. You just obviously have different boundaries of each type.
Mm-hmm.
So if someone takes days, they have avoidant behaviors. Mm-hmm. So that's a red flag to me. If I were your couples therapist or whatever, your friend therapist, that's a red flag to me that this person needs a lot more work in learning how to resolve your conflict versus you. So if you're like, it takes me a day, that means you have a quicker turnover time with dealing with conflict than that person. Mm-hmm. So I'm the kind of person that went from 4 days to 3 days to 2 days to 12 hours to 4 hours. Mm-hmm. So how do I do that? I was intentional. I was like, this is an issue. I don't feel like talking when I'm sad or mad or something happens to me. But that is not helpful for the other person who's in my life who wants to talk about it and who wants to resolve it. And I'm avoiding it because I'm taught to avoid it. So then I did the work to become better at solving my problems with that person. And now the middle ground, the 50% for me is give me at least 4 hours. I noticed that within 4 hours, I have a clear mind to talk. Anything more than that, it means I'm probably not going to talk about it at all. Anything less than that, I'm going to be saying things that I actually needed more time to think about. So the issue then isn't you, it's the person that's taking forever to resolve their conflict. Why does it take you this long to resolve conflict? Like for 48 hours, like in anything, customer service, anything, if you take more than 48 hours, there's an issue.
Mm-hmm. And you guys heard it here first, I'm not the problem. I'm not the problem. You heard it here.
Yeah, no, if you take like 24 hours is like a stretch. If maybe we want to give someone 24 hours to give them like the psychological safety. But once you get into like that, we're going to get into the psychology of the human mind, just in general. If you're on the phone with customer service and you want to fix your phone, and customer service says, it's going to take me 4 business days to get back to you.
No, 2 weeks. And we're going to live in your house and look at you in the face.
But I'm saying, just think about how you would feel if Apple told you it's going to take me 48 hours. It's going to take me 4 days to give you a response about how to turn your iPad back on. And you're like, bro, it should only take you 4 hours. Or it should only take this. And Apple's website says it takes only this amount of time. Imagine if you'd be so pissed off.
Yeah.
So think about the person that you're talking to and how you took 4 days or more to resolve a problem.
And I think sometimes people resolve conflict differently with different people. And they think that, these are the ways that you deal with conflict with your family members. But I don't think the way that you deal with your family members are the same way that you deal with your friends, and the way that you deal with your friends is the same way that you deal with your...
There's a sense of urgency. Every situation has a level of urgency. And I like to see problems like CPR. like the ABCs. And with the ABCs, it's like, okay, which one is going to be airway, which one's breathing, which one's circulation. And most of the time, if it's someone that I'm romantically involved with and they're right next to me and they're in front of me, this is something that's going to impact the daily living of my life. You are like a circulation. I got to deal with you as soon as possible. And family who lives 12 hours away or 16 hours away.
That you don't talk
they're
to
not
often.
that I don't talk to them. It's not that they're not important. They're the airway and bloodway, the airway circulation and everything else matters.
Yeah, but it's not even holiday season. I'm not even going. It's not Thanksgiving.
Right. So it's like it's just like your needs are going to go at a different level than the needs of someone that's right in front of me that impacts my everyday life.
Is this a clip? This needs to be the clip.
No, these things
Oh,
is this thing on?
Is this thing on? Talk to this camera right here. This is the one I think.
Is this camera on?
Yeah.
We listen, producer, we miss you. We miss you.
Yeah.
This is hard, y'all. Doing this without a third person? Wow. Wow.
Tell me about it.
Who came up with video podcasts?
I don't know. We gotta have an engineer. We're hiring interns.
We're hiring interns. Engineer interns.
But talk to this camera and tell them how it's urgent for you to talk to your relationship that you see every day. This one.
There has to be a sense of urgency when you are making decisions about the relationships in your life. Your priority must be the one that is the most salient for you in your life. So salient means the most transparent, the one that's the most present, ever present in your life.
Have some decorum.
And if that is the one relationship that impacts your daily living, that's the relationship that you practice urgency with.
Urgent.
So if it's a relationship where the distance is 3 hours, 4 hours, we're talking like there's no impact on your daily living, but there is some emotional impact, or there's some thinking impact, sure. But that doesn't have a higher sense of urgency than the one that is closest to you. And that's why they always have this debate where it's like the wife versus the girlfriend, or the wife versus the mom. It's like your mom is important, but who lives with you? How does the bills get paid? How are things?
Who's gonna eat?
Who's the one
cooking?
Who's cooking? Who's the one who has 24-hour full-time round the clock relationships with you? And that person should be more urgent. That doesn't dictate that your relationship with your mother or anybody else isn't important. It just means there's a sense of urgency on the person who's closest to you. You ain't gotta be like, oh, your girlfriend could be the list, the name of the list, and your mama's number one, and your children's number two, wherever you decide. But there's always a sense of urgency. And if there's anything that's urgent, your partner or your child might want to be the one that's urgent.
Yeah, I heard that. I'm not the problem. So I would like to leave it on here so that they can soak that in.
Soak that in,
Please.
Take that in.
Please take it in.
You're watching this at home.
Yes.
Or
watching this clip, because I'm making sure this is the clip. This is the clip that we're gonna do. But we want to thank you guys for listening to our conflict resolution episode. Hopefully you guys found out who needs to put a pep in their step and be a little bit more urgent.
Yeah.
And then I guess people like me maybe give others a little bit of time, a little grace. But not too much. Not too much on that.
Be a lot more grace giving. You big baller, big boss dog. You know how to resolve your conflicts. Big ups to you. That's not everybody.
We'll see about that. I'll give you a little bit more grace.
But they have to be like.
But you should also communicate this.
You have to communicate this. You can't just be like, oh, Shirley said that. You have to give me grace because
Shirley said.
Sure. What Cheryl says. What Cheryl says is you should give me some grace because I do not know.
No. You need to communicate.
You need to communicate. that this is something that you struggle with, and make sure that there's
Now we like an ETA.
a sense of urgency in resolving the conflict and get it done. Don't be like Cheryl says, and then you take 58 hours or more to resolve your conflict, which means you're really just avoiding it. No, don't avoid your problems. Solve it.
Let's be adults here.
Right. Well, thank you for tuning in. We'll see
To
you in
the next episode of This Is Not That Podcast.
Not That Podcast. We'll see you in our next episode.
Bye.
Cheers.
Thank you for listening. New episodes of This Is Not That Pod drops every Tuesday, so keep up with us by pressing that follow button.
We want to hear how much you're feeling us. So if you love the show, leave us a review. Be sure to read our show notes and tap or click around to support our sponsors.